Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, time for another good prayer to the God of Dislikes. Join me in praying to the God of Dislikes by singing along with me, gesturing at your screen, and leaving dislikes on the video. So earlier today, I got my first 100 supporters on one of my Lego Ideas project, and it's the first milestone. There's a few more before Lego reviews it. I'm optimistic about someday getting one of these on the shelves. Maybe it's not the one that got the 100 supporters today, but I do want to get back to my art career, and here's why. I teach at a community college. I love my job, but there are quirks to it. Having to work with people and network with people. There are always quirks. Like one time, I had accidentally made a mess in the microwave. I got distracted. I had a student who had rescheduled the final multiple times, and when he finally decided to come to campus, I got too excited. I forgot about my food in the microwave. And my coworker could have gently reminded me, you forgot your food the other day. Instead, he takes a picture and he sends it to the whole team, including our boss. I'm like, why? And yesterday, one of my HR came to talk to me. What had happened was that I am autistic. I sometimes just like to throw ideas out there that don't make any sense, because I don't know how to break the ice with people. One of my coworkers had swung by, and I'm getting ready to go to Taiwan, right? I asked my coworker, here in the United States, the phone number for emergencies is 911, but over in Taiwan it's 119. I asked her, which one do you prefer? It doesn't really have a good answer or anything. I'm just bored and don't know how to break the ice with her. And so she was very upset at the question. I learned that she had just had some trauma in her life revolving around calling 911. And when I brought that up, it struck the wrong chord with her. And there's just a lot of landmines that I walk into and don't realize. And now I still love my job and everything, but I wish I had less pressure with these regards, right? Now, if I started making a lot of money with my art projects, would I quit my job? Not really, but I wouldn't feel so uptight about it and worried that the wrong word could cause problems, right? Would I still joke about asking coworkers about funny numbers? I'd be a little bit more every time I do it and something goes wrong. I learn from it, but I wouldn't stop. I think if it helps break the ice, sometimes it hits the wrong chord. If I had another career to fall back on, I probably won't use the 911 again. But funny things, like, for example, don't you wish we could have a 3-day weekend and still work 5 weeks? I sometimes like to bring that idea up, even if people think it's a funny idea, right? Or let's see, one time I asked, what's up, uh, what somebody's favorite food is or something like that. Things like that, right? Unfortunately, you never know when something's going to strike the wrong chord. It could be very tangential, and you never thought about, right? And so I never thought the idea of which number sounds better, 911 or 119. I guess I should have known a little bit better than to bring up the concept of 911. But and now the food in the microwave thing, if my livelihood didn't ride on it, that would have been a funny story. I can't believe this guy is so afraid of food that he has to write to HR about that, right? If my livelihood didn't depend on it, that'd be a funny story. That would just be akin to going to my favorite restaurant and somebody making fun of the color of my shirt. That's funny, right? When it happens at work that somebody doesn't like, especially HR or the boss, doesn't like the color of my shirt, not so funny anymore, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.